some scientist asked the Rebbe back in the 60s. There was talk in the scientific circles about life on other planets.
Mm-hmm.
Gonna go check it out, right? So somebody said to the Rebbe, "We don't believe in life on other planets, do we?" There's a frum scientist.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
He says, "We don't believe in life on other planets." The Rebbe said, "Belief? Go take a look." You can't use belief as a cop-out. Like, I'm too lazy to go look, so I'll make up a belief. Don't use belief inappropriately. That God created the world is something you should know, not believe.
So how does God still show up in your life?
It's all about him. See, there's another thing. The future of psychology, which is not doing so well, the future of psychology is you don't have deep, dark needs. You don't have repressed impulses and desires that need to be acted on or spoken of. And you don't need anything because you're a creation. Only a creator needs something.
I mean, we're all creators, in a sense, aren't we not? I mean, we all have, we're all creations of higher power of God, but at the same time, we have the power to create.
In a sense, we're not creating.
Yeah, I mean, with the
we're
power
perpetuating.
invested within me, sure, but there's an element, doubting oneself is doubting the Creator.
Well, we create children. Do parents need children, or do children need parents?
Both. Oh, I think the parents need the children more than the parents. I mean,
Say again?
I was gonna say, obviously the child, especially in the earliest years, needs someone to take care of them. But I think there's also the parent needs a child tremendously. Tremendously. It's their identity.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So does the child really have needs?
Besides the basics, of food or...
Which the parents provide.
Yeah. No.
So what do you need?
No.
That's why if a child is not happy, something's wrong. What is your problem?
Yeah.
What's your problem? We are guests in God's world. Why do we have needs? In other words, isn't it the creator who has needs, not the created?
Yes, but then though the cycle continues and the child grows,
Yeah.
and through the human condition of life, there's the cycle of whatever trauma and stuff that has taken place when parents passed on, and then the work takes place for the child to break that cycle.
Perfectly said.
Thank you.
Life creates needs, not me. I don't need. Listen, this is really Mashiach-dik, right?
Yeah, we're getting there.
I need a doctor. I need a doctor. Actually, like a hole in the head.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need a doctor. God created me in such a way that my health can either work or not work. And when it doesn't work, I have to go to a doctor. He invented that, not me.
Yeah, sure.
Even the need to eat. I need to eat. Actually, I need to stop eating. And I can't. So who did this to me? If you say it correctly, I'll give you an example. A kid goes out of town, overseas to yeshiva. He arrives in the yeshiva, Chassidish yeshiva,
Yeah, sure.
and he says to the mashpia, I have to call my mother. Where's the telephone? And the mashpia says, you have to?
For your mother's sake, you have to call.
Is it true that you have to?
True.
No, it's not true.
No, I mean, true. No, not true.
Yeah.
But yes.
I don't need to call my mother. In fact, I think it's a little bit annoying. But my mother needs me to call her. Why can't we talk straight? I need to eat. Whoever designed me, whoever fashioned me with this handicap, Thank you very much.
Yes.
He needs me to eat. I don't want to eat. And if I designed myself, I would never do that to me.
So the change of way of being, if someone's growing up and has been brought up in a certain lifestyle or way of being, their needs and wants may not be their needs or wants or what they think their needs or wants are, but they have to do a certain amount of work to unscrew and figure out what their true needs are. But that takes work. That takes therapy. That takes psychology. I mean, or mashpia or whatnot to help some guidance.
So the future of psychology is, instead of telling you more needs you didn't know you had, thank you very much.
Right.
It will relieve you of needs, not try to solve your needs. You don't need anything.
Letting go, then more, less of taking on than more letting go.
Because you didn't ask to be born. You really don't need. This is a recent development. It was never true before. Everybody did what they had to do. That's how we got this far. That's how we built civilization.
We didn't have time to think of anything else.
Because you had to.
Sure.
Right?
Survival.
So when somebody said you have to, you did. Particularly if it was the czar. Yeah. Somebody was always dictating your needs. You need to do that. You must do this. Today, people are starting to say, I don't need to do anything. And don't threaten me. Because you're going to threaten me. I see it coming. Right? Yeah, but if you don't do what you have to do, you're going to end up... Okay, don't threaten me, because I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care. Like this guy who was suing his parents for giving birth to him. Didn't hear about it?
No, I didn't hear about this.
Guy in India, 27 years old. He took him to court.
Okay, wow.
He wants them to pay all his bills for the rest of his life.
Because without you, I want to be here. I want to have this responsibility and so on.
You didn't ask me.
Yeah.
I never signed any contracts. So you give birth to me and then tell me that I have to go to school?
Mm-hmm.
I don't have to go to school. Well, you won't get a job. I don't need a job.
Right.
Well, you won't be able to pay your bills. Hey, I'm not paying bills. It's like inviting me to an expensive restaurant and they're telling me to pay the bill.
Yeah. Well, Well, what? Okay, what are your thoughts on this?
He's making a lot of sense.
He's making a lot of sense.
Yeah. Because he wants his parents to pay all his bills for the rest of his life, and he's not even Jewish.
Jewish cup. I mean,
so,
yes.
Young children are saying the same thing. You ask them to do something, and they say, I didn't ask to be born. Where is this coming from? It's coming from the truth. You didn't ask to be born. Nobody asks to be born because nobody needs to be born.
So how do you excite someone to be alive?
If you're smart enough to figure out that you don't need this, then figure out who does.
Does that lead to a question of, let's say, people who grew up in religion? Now, let's say people who grew up with religion. Why do I need religion? Why do I have to do the rituals? If they're not arguing with you, Rabbi, God exists, higher power, I believe in the universe, all good and fine. Why do X, Y, and Z to get down this road to connect? If I can do it my own way.
Perfect example. The frum grandparent says, you have to go to shul. You have to keep Shabbos. The kid says, I thought about it and...
not really.
I don't have to. Yeah. Oh, you have to. No, I don't have to.
Or the one is like, if I don't feel it now, keep on doing it and it'll come later.
Fine.
But still, I mean, the point doesn't...
But I don't have to.
Yeah.
I don't have to. So, you're going to go to Gehenna? Okay. Stop with the threats.
Yeah.
You're not winning any points by threatening me. Because it only proves that you don't have an argument.
Absolutely.
Right.
How do you answer this? Because it's definitely a conversation, right? This day and age. I know for myself. I mean, the way I practice Judaism is very different from how I was brought up, in my own home. So, in that idea, is religion, is it tied with God, or is it two separate things and just a way to connect to a higher power?
Why do you want to connect to a higher power?
Well,
And who invited you?
yeah, right. Well, if we're going back to the idea of God.
Who invited you?
Right, and you're right, 100% in the sense. So let's go back. So a step before that, where the child says, "I don't. You ask me, tell me to do something, follow a certain way, do a certain thing. I don't need you. It's not my choice to be here. It's all you.
Yeah.
Let me go
It's
about
your religion. Leave me alone.
Right.
Right? Everybody's saying that.
Right.
And it's true. And that's why the parents are freaking out.
Yeah.
Because kid's right.
Yeah.
He doesn't have to.
It's funny if I just pause for a second because when I came back from, I was speaking to my mother before I got here, as I should be. And after I came back from traveling, I traveled the world for a year and a half. I came back. You may remember this, but I came back and I was long hair, hippie clothing, and I'm not putting you in a corner. Don't worry about it. But my mother's like, they're freaking out because I was speaking about, what is God? And I was, I experienced the world and out of the confines and the bubble of which I grew up in. So I had a lot of different doubts and ideas. So this says, someone suggested to speak to you. And I remember we sat down, we spoke, and I remember your way of being it wasn't attacking. It was very calm, cool, collected. And you were just like challenging me in my ideas and thoughts, where it sort of came back to this idea of like, you want to do this, then do it. You want to go, then go, experience it. Like, go down that road. Don't, like, in a sense, maybe I translate it my own way, but you correct me if I'm wrong. But in a sense of like, if that's what you want to do, then go experience, see how that is, and see if it fulfills you in that manner.
So what is the correct answer? The correct answer is no one ever said you need to do this. That's not Yiddishkeit. The Torah is, this is what God needs from you. You don't need anything because you didn't need to be born. So why were you born? Not from your need, from his need. So with Chassidim, it's very easy to say, do you have to do what God says? No. He'll punish you. Stop with the threats.
You're right.
Okay. But if you say, this is what God needs from you, now can you say no? If the Rebbe would call you and say, I need you to do this.
Oh, dangerous comparison there. But yeah.
Could you say no?
No, but then again, you'll find guys who don't believe in God who believe in the Rebbe. But sure.
The point is, if this is what God needs from you, can you say, So now all of a sudden, you have to do it.
Yeah, but you're saying that whoever said that you need to do something, so perhaps it's a flawed system of how things are being taught
Absolutely.
to the children, to the kids, to the way I was brought up in a sense, that what you're to do, how to do, the language of it.
Yes. In fact, today, if you say you have to, the conversation's over.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter what it is. Not just religion, anything. You have to go to school. That's it, I'm not going. That language has got to stop. Because we've come to a very correct realization. I don't need any of this.
So how would one right now in this day, in the reality of what it is, how does one approach someone who perhaps in a family member who is living their life, doing their own thing? How does one approach that? Have a conversation. What would you say to parents who,
what do you say
to scared?
What do you say to a guy in the street when you're on Miftzayim? Like to put on tefillin? No. Okay, bye. What do you say?
Yeah. So you're saying don't fight it.
What do you mean?
Drag. I'm saying are you saying this let it go? Fine, move on to the next guy.
I'm asking, what are you doing?
Oh.
You approach a guy and you say,
yeah, okay.
Do you need tefillin? No. Okay, bye.
Nah, you just welcome him. You say hi. I mean, it's been a minute since I've been saying, but
what you're doing is you're coming to a person and saying, have you got a minute to do something for God? And the guy says, I don't need this. I know. Can you take a break for a minute and do something you don't need? That's a mitzvah. A mitzvah means something you don't need. Can you take a break from your own needs before you get totally depressed and do something for someone else?
Stepping out of yourself.
That inspires people. I'm talking to a guy who said, I don't believe in God. I'm an atheist. I don't believe in God. And I said, yeah, but God created you. He needs you. Oh, he does?
Only one. Right.
All of a sudden, I'm interested. A minute ago, he didn't believe in God. God needs me? Tell me more. Because he was told all his life he needs God.
I'm sure there's a few people who have quite harsh ideas. Actually, I was sitting by a round table you're hosting in LA over Shabbos, and you brought up this concept of how God needs us. And a lot of people from different movements in Judaism were very upset about that, very bothered by that. The idea that God would need us, mere mortals.
Try to get around it.
I saw you trying.
No. Get around the fact that God needs. He doesn't need. But he created the world.
Yeah.
For no reason.
Sure.
Because he needs nothing.
Right.
No. Created for a reason. With a purpose. Yeah, but a purpose that he doesn't really need.
Well, the concept of, I think, desire is very, very foreign to some people, that God has a desire.
Well, make sense of it without that. It doesn't work.
Right.
It doesn't work. No. He doesn't need anything. He just wants to do you a favor.
So they need more chassidus in their life. That's about it.
Even chassidus needs to be understood.
It's true. I agree with that. I've recently just delved back into some chassidus, to learning more chassidus, and it's learning it now in a more very real, practical way, just because I'm engaged in life. I just wish, and this is echoed by a lot of my friends, I wonder if it's because it wasn't taught that way when I was in yeshiva like years ago, or we just didn't have enough life to experience and to compare it to. But maybe it's a little bit of both.
I'm talking to an 11-year-old kid, yeshiva boy, and he says, I don't think God needs it. He just wants it. I said, God wants something he doesn't need? And the kid said, oh, that's it. He wants it. He doesn't need it. You know what that's called?
What's
immature. That? Even a human being shouldn't want what he doesn't need. So you can't get around it. I know there's a problem. I know. God is supposed to be perfect. He's not supposed to need anything. I know about that problem. But you can't get away from it. If he doesn't need, then it's all over. Because I certainly don't need this. If you enjoyed this conversation or this topic, and you're looking for more information, or you want to hear it again from another angle, there is a way to do that. And that is in this book. It's all there. Order it from Amazon. You can read it, reread it, and share it. We have a Sunday night program for VIPs that you might be interested in. It's informal. It's questions and answers. It's conversation. It's really relaxed. It's really pleasant, enjoyable, informative, and kind of community-like. It's a Sunday night program. There's a Wednesday morning program for the VIPs, and there's a Wednesday night program. All of it just conversation, casual, laid back, unscripted. So join us. Take a look. Click the link below and see which of the three suits you best, and join us for some enjoyable conversation.